Hello, beautiful friends. It's Erica. Today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming new moon solar eclipse happening at 10 degrees of Taurus on Saturday, April 30th, 2021 at, I believe, 4:28 p.m. Eastern Time. And as you guys know, eclipses are a big deal energetically, and this is the first of two eclipses that are happening here this spring. The next eclipse is going to be a full moon lunar eclipse on May 16th. So 2 weeks later, we have another eclipse. So as you guys know, the energies of really the last, I'd say 5, 6 months especially, there's been like themes of major life decisions, transitions, choices, reevaluating life. Where am I going? What am I doing? And as you guys know, eclipses are events where energetically they can expedite the inevitable. So they often can facilitate change, sudden change, and it's always change that is for the best, to bring you to a higher timeline, to bring you into where you're supposed to be going. Kind of like they never change the course of direction. They simply, it's like the universe's support system to sometimes bring about change that maybe we are afraid to make ourselves. We know we need to make it, but we just haven't gotten around to it, or we're kind of letting fears or doubts stop us. Sometimes this is when events can come in rather suddenly that align us with our highest path. And I want to share a vision I was getting prior to coming on camera when I was in meditation. Is I was being shown, I don't know why this is cracking me up so much. I was shown a disco ball, and I'm like, why am I seeing a disco ball? And then I looked, and I looked, and there was John Travolta. Like, like if you guys know the album cover from the Staying Alive soundtrack from way back in the 70s, it's just him in his white suit with like the I don't know, the lit up floor, and he's in that pose that everyone does. And he was just like standing there in that pose, and I'm looking at him like, what are you doing? And immediately then the song started playing in my head, and I saw him do that like John Travolta strut that he does. I think it's at the end of the movie. I can't remember when I saw it. I've only seen it once. And so please let me know in the comments what happens in the movie prior to, like, I think it's again at the end when he walks out onto the streets of New York, and I think it's New York. I don't even know. So, I mean, I could be wrong. I think I probably saw it 30 years ago. But what happens like prior to that? Because to me, I feel like that's a significant message about this eclipse. So I don't know what happens in the movie. I don't remember, but I'm being guided to ask you guys. And if you can tell me in the comments, that will help others, and maybe there's a relevant message there. So we're going to start off by looking at the themes of this new moon eclipse. It is a solar eclipse. So let's look at some of the themes coming in, and then we're going to look at how what's going to be really helpful about this eclipse and what might be kind of challenging. I will leave you with guidance at the end for those of you not going on to the extended. And in the extended, I'm going to do a before and after of this eclipse, so you can really see the multiple layers of effect that this eclipse will have on our lives. So that link is down below. So let's start with the themes here for this event. Is the opal. Let yourself sparkle and shine. You're guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. Like, that's definitely John Travolta in that, when he's doing that strut, right? It's like, show yourself who you are and who you are when you are in your magnificence. If you've been holding back and doing this, if you've been shy about showing what you're good at, what you are meant to do, what skills and talents you may have, or what mission you're supposed to serve here, it's like, let it all out and let it be seen. Because remember, new moons are about new beginnings. and new beginnings that support us. So that's a beautiful message to start this reading here. So let me get another theme for this new moon in Taurus. The silver dragon illuminates your potential with higher light. And this one wants to come out too. The sunshine yellow dragon. Okay. So this is about illuminating your potential with higher light and accessing untapped resources, looking into your soul and seeing higher possibilities. And it's interesting that it's coming in with the sunshine yellow dragon, which is all about helping animals, serving animals, healing, respecting, and understanding them. So this is a very specific message with this particular card. I feel like rather than simply animals, I feel like this has to also do with how we help and serve others, how we help and serve other living beings, not simply animals, but other humans, fellow humans. Helping, and I'm just getting drawn to the fact that there's a baby deer, there's a doe here. So I do feel like this can relate also to children. And what I'm getting, it's because of the, wow, okay. What have you always dreamt about doing in your life when you were a little kid? Like, what is it that you wanted to be more than anything in this world? Is there something that you have always felt drawn to, called to, but then your practical mind got in the way? Your responsible mind got in your way. I feel like this is this new moon here, eclipse, it's showing us where we've sold ourselves short from the standpoint of what we're here to really accomplish. We're meant to look into our soul and see ourselves and see like parts of ourselves that we have not yet tapped into. This is about accessing untapped potential. And it's like, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for things to be easier? Are you waiting for a magical sign from the universe? Because this might actually be that magical sign, by the way. Are you waiting for the weather to be better? Are you waiting for the feeling to just hit you that it's time to do it? This is saying you have a lot of untapped potential within you, and it's time to let it out. It's time to be bold, let it sparkle, let it shine, be who you are supposed to be. Because you may have done things and made choices in your life, maybe about career, maybe about relationships, maybe about what you do with your free time, whatever it is that maybe just made you feel safe. But what about letting you shine and be seen? What other theme do we have here for this eclipse? Receive, be open to receiving abundance, believe you are worthy of it. A gift is coming to you soon. I do feel like this is a new moon where you can get unexpected, beautiful opportunities to do something you've always dreamed of. And it's totally crazy because one of the mission readings that I did just the other day, this was an extremely strong message coming through, where it was like a career, like a shift, a big shift. Went to school for one thing, is just now graduating, and now maybe is meant to do something completely different. So I feel like there could be exciting new opportunities that come in with this new moon. And the aspect of this new moon solar eclipse, because, obviously it's where the moon partially blocks the sun, because this isn't a total solar eclipse. This is a partial. And when the moon sort of blocks the sun, it's kind of asking everybody to take a really hard look at self. You know, what have you not seen within yourself? Because think about it, when the sun is shining brightly, it's blinding, right? But when there's a partial eclipse where it's partially covered, it's almost like it allows you to see more than you would normally because the sun would blind you, if that makes sense. Not that you're going to look at the sun directly, but it's almost like it softens the brightness to the intensity to allow you to see an aspect of self, because the sun represents the self. You know, in astrology, obviously, your sun sign is kind of how you show yourself, who you are, when you are in your light. So let's look at what energies could be really helping us with this new moon. Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Tower. Yeah, like I said, the Tower's a good tower. And I'm getting this feeling like, certainly there could be some communication and messages and information coming in quickly with the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Tower. And I think that this could be a new moon where there's either conversations that need to be had, changes that need to be made, like whatever sudden changes. This communication causes a change that honestly makes you understand where you may have been bored, where you feel like something's been lacking in your life. It's like definitely shaking things up. There's a lot of intensity with these energies. This is where the universe is offering an opportunity for happiness. And it's like this guy has 3 cups and he's looking at them and he's not that psyched. But the universe is gifting him this other cup. A chance for happiness, a chance, an opportunity, maybe that you didn't expect, that is going to bring emotional fulfillment. Let's get a card on this 4 of Cups. See, and success. It could be a professional opportunity, because the King of Pentacles has it all. He's very successful financially, materially, and also this can be also, for some of you, this could be unexpected communication from a potential long-term, sincere partner that wants love, wants partnership with you. Because the King of Pentacles is like very sincere and someone who wants long-term stability. And remember, this is the new moon eclipse in Taurus, which is an earth sign. So here is the earth sign showing up, the King of Pentacles. It's the Knight of Swords about, okay, the world. See, this is where there could be news and information that changes everything, that reveals everything. It reveals it all. I did a reading on my other channel a couple days ago that I think is very, very apropos for this eclipse. They showed me like a dial. It's like where the universe has been turning up the light to expose all that's been hidden, to expose anything that hasn't been seen clearly. It's like the universe has brought the dial up full force. It can't illuminate it anymore. And that's what this world is about. These are major completions of major cycles ending, truth, revelations, everything suddenly coming full circle and making sense. And why is the Tower here? Again, these are the supportive energies, the High Priestess. So something that maybe you've intuitively been waiting to hear or waiting to see. Maybe something that's like you're not expecting. Again, the High Priestess is mysterious. She's kind of can be sort of secretive. But I feel like this more relates to intuitively. You feel like something's been coming. And the Eight of Wands gets the Ace of Cups. See what I mean? There's a real opportunity potentially for new love, a new relationship, something that you love to do professionally. There's a chance for new love, a chance to be who you are, a chance to, again, access untapped resources, seeing higher possibilities. Many people are making choices around relationships and love and partnership, and realizing that maybe they've settled for less than they are feeling called to now. And I settled for less than, that somewhat implies like you knew you were settling at the time, and that's not what I mean at all. What this means is that you may have outgrown the relationship. Maybe it's run its course. Maybe the lessons that you are in this relationship for have now completed, and now you're meant to move on to something else that you are now more aligned with. That's a way better way of saying it. Okay, that's really what I'm talking about. Let's look at what might be challenging us with this eclipse. Yeah, sadness, disappointment. For some of us, the information coming in might be very disheartening. Almost like we don't like what we're seeing. We don't like what's being revealed. Yeah, and we might feel conflicted about it. So what could be challenging around this eclipse is it's like, where have things been stagnant, and now you have the revelation, now you have the enlightenment. We do have the World, which is about enlightenment. And so for some, it's dealing with the disappointment of maybe what might be coming in. Again, a lot of people could be having a massive relationship talk at this time. Like the talk that needs to happen that's going to determine the direction that the future holds. And for many of you, it's relationships coming to an end. We've seen that building and building for the last 6 months. And think back to November of last year, November 21, because that was when we had the full moon lunar eclipse in November, also in the sign of Taurus. So think back to where you were in November and what was completing around that time, or what was beginning a cycle of completion at that time. What was going on? Because this relates to it. So it's kind of like the continuation of what began around then. So think back to that time. If you want, look back at the reading I did for that eclipse here on the channel, because it's always interesting to look back in hindsight. But I feel like this could be challenging. I feel like it's, again, we're getting Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands. That's fast moving action. And I think it could cause some fighting, some conflict. And the conflict is what's difficult. Rise of Three of Swords here. Yeah, look at that. Anxiety, fears. The Nine of Swords is also how we can possibly sabotage ourselves. And the sabotage is, it's rather more like going out of our comfort zone. It's like when we know we have to go out of our comfort zone into the world of the unknown, we can unconsciously do something to prevent ourselves from going into the unknown, which feels uncomfortable. It's like we'll do things in our lives unconsciously to keep us in the familiar energy. But what might be challenging here is the stress over the disappointment. But again, remember, this is not, you are aware of what this change could be. It's not like this is a surprise element that is something you would be completely unaware of. It's like your heart knows. And I was pulling on the Hanged Man. And here we have the Hierophant and the Empress popping out together. Yeah, it's like, you're spiritually being aligned with this new beginning, possibly a really a higher level of love, a higher type of relationship. You may have a realization that you're not in the right relationship for you. You may have the realization you're not in the right job for you, and spiritually you're being called to a new life, but you're afraid maybe of disappointing somebody else, and that's not easy. Oh yeah, and making the changes, moving out, going through that tangible transition. Why is the Five of Wands here in the difficult energy? Four of Swords. Yeah, that's kind of a retreating energy. Why is the Knight of Wands here and the Lover? See what I mean? There's choices. And many people are being called to a higher level of love, a higher level of partnership, even if that means you don't know who that person is in your future. You just know it's not the one you're with. And that's not always easy. But with both the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Lovers here, it's like the universe is calling you to more. And I think what might be difficult here is what some of you might, it's like you know what you need to do. You're stressing about what you need to do, but you might pull back your energy. Why is the Four of Swords here? And the Four of Wands. Yeah, it's like, right? There's a beautiful celebration here. There's a manifestation. And for some of you, there's a chance to heal a situation in your life that maybe you thought couldn't be healed. And now it's like suddenly, I'm going to give it a shot. What do I have to lose? So my friends, lots of messages coming through here for this eclipse. So I'm heading over to the extended, but I'm going to leave you guys with a couple guidance messages here for those of you not going to the extended. And like I said, in the extended, I'm going to look specifically, break down the before and after effects more specifically of this eclipse. The link is down below. So what is the best guidance here? Well, hello. I guess there's a few. So we have miracles are endless. The cow spirit. Right? So again, untapped potential. Miracles can happen with this. Unexpected miracles. Also about learning from the past. Love is all around. And a rebirth is assured. The bat spirit. So we have the cow, the elephant, the nightingale, and the rebirth. Love is all around. But remember, the nightingale is all about the song. Sparkle, shine, show yourself, be bold. Let your song be heard. For some of you, it could be an actual song or singing. But you know, the past is in the past. The lessons are closing out from the past. You've learned from everything. Even if you made a choice long ago, nothing is wasted, right? If you feel like, oh, I made a decision and I lived this way for a long time and now I'm going to be leaving that behind. It's like in the case of, you know, someone who's gone to school for something and they're graduating and now maybe looking at something completely different than what they got their degree in. It's like none of that is wasted at all. But there is a rebirth here. And the bat here hanging upside down, right? This is very much like the Hanged Man. Whatever information and enlightened energy and light comes in, any epiphanies that come in, it's going to be bringing you incredible abundance. Remember, a gift is coming to you soon. Be open to receiving goodness. So my friends, I hope this was helpful. I'll see some of you in the extended, and do stay tuned for my next eclipse reading, which will be for the full moon lunar